I'm here in Madrid, a city known for its stunning beauty. But I'm not here as a tourist, I'm here as a journalist searching for answers. Right now there's a major trade dispute brewing between Europe and China. It's about electric vehicles, but it could easily escalate into something much bigger if it's not handled properly. And that's exactly why I am here. Some of the most important conversations are taking place right now. And this is my chance to speak face to face with top officials and experts from all over, diving into issues that matter. And hopefully we might find some solutions, or at least get a clearer sense of the road ahead.
For the past 2 decades, China has become so good at making electric vehicles, and not just the cars, but the entire ecosystem of technology behind them. The world is hungry for these green machines, but the US and the EU are sort of saying no. The result of that is Chinese EVs are getting hit with tariffs as high as 45%, making them a lot more expensive than they should be.
Now many companies are in difficult position, many employed people can lose jobs, and so European Union try to protect their working places and to have policy that will, I think, enable better economy in Europe.
The gap in EV technology is real for Europe, but by pointing fingers at China's subsidies and throwing up protectionist walls, can problems actually be solved?
I don't like sanctions, in principle. I don't think sanctions can really solve outstanding problems. They are not the best tools for settling differences.
But in my own experience, even a small nation like New Zealand tried to use tariffs historically to protect our industries. It just puts up the cost of goods to your citizens. It doesn't solve the problem.
There's a huge trend here in Europe to go green, and believe it or not, Chinese EVs are a big part of that solution. Last year they accounted for 20% of all EV sales here in Europe. There's clear demand for them. Look at this massive parking lot. I bet there are Chinese EVs parking inside.
But it might not remain the case. With the cost of selling EVs skyrocketing in Europe, some Chinese producers are simply shifting to other more open markets. The EU is just becoming less attractive.
Finally, we shall see that restrictions are not leading to the best result.
Setting up joint ventures could be a way out, but it could still take years for European countries to catch up with the technology. Many key components, like lithium batteries, will still have to be imported from China. Until then, consumers would have to pay a lot more to go green.
China, and as well as European Union, they try to adapt to each other. And this process of adapting, there will be some steps that will not be appreciated by the opposite side.
I think it's not as simple as we have identified. But for sure, it's important that Chinese technologies are available in Europe. China has made long-term investments in EVs, and it's leading in many respects in that market.
I was always against such tariffs. I think the European car industry is strong enough to adapt, and the European Commission is absolutely prepared to negotiate, and they do it. And I think the Chinese counterparts are absolutely professional negotiators as well.
I believe that there could be and there should be a negotiated agreement between the European Union and China. I hope we are not going to further down on the road of a trade war.
Talks between China and Europe are still ongoing. The hope is that these negotiations can lead to a more sensible way out, a framework or a win-win mechanism that both sides can rely on when problems occur, instead of falling back on protectionist policies that could ruin our economic ties.